Okay, good. it log out. But
Hi guys.
Finland.
Good. Okay. guys.
Take it away. 2. I can't hear you. How come I can't hear you?
Hey, wait 1 second. Wait 1 second.
Oh, I know why. Hold on a second. You can hear me?
Yep, we can all hear.
Good. What are you doing now? You starting the program?
Yes,
Can you guys hear me?
and a minute and a half.
Okay, good luck, you guys.
Thank you. The music was beautiful.
Fantastic. What's that?
I'm asking if anybody can hear me.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, enjoy the night.
Why am I looking at a picture of your son, Rabbi?
because this is his system. We're using Kai Lifeline's system. So Rob doesn't realize that it's a picture of Morty instead of a picture of Rob.
Michelle? Michelle? Come here. Come here, Michelle.
All right, Stu, you ready? 5 seconds to go.
Yeah, Michelle, come here. I'm talking.
That's a rare thing.
Yeah. Just give me the word.
Well, about 50 seconds. We've got 90 people online right now.
90.
Yeah, but a lot of people aren't all going to join until 8 o'clock, right? Because not everybody came in for the music.
Oh.
Is there a way to see anyone else?
No.
Now we're at 97.
So everybody is going to be looking at the 5 of us for the whole night.
No, I think, Rob, can't you put the speaker on? Yeah. Whoever hit speaker view at the top right-hand corner of your screen, and it'll make the speaker will show up.
I know, but the only speakers are the 5 of us.
Yeah, is there any way to see everyone else?
Nobody asked me if this was okay. I didn't eat dinner yet. I'm hungry.
So go get something to eat.
Everybody's going to, 250 people are going to be staring at Dori and myself for the entire night.
Stu?
Only my grandmother's allowed to watch me eat.
All right, guys, everybody's listening to us, and it's 8 o'clock. Let's go. Stu, whenever you're ready.
Okay, everybody. Absolutely delighted to welcome each and every one of you. It's probable that you could see me, but I cannot see you. I really wish I could. It's been a long time since I've had the pleasure to see your faces. Welcome to the first virtual TCS dinner ever created. And the aplomb with which it was created is unbelievable. To the best of my knowledge, our organization, our Shul, was the first and only organization to create such a thing. As you know, there were a host of dinners and other events which were subsequently canceled to the pandemic, but we were fortunate to be able to turn this around. And for that, I'm very grateful to a number of people, and I'll be mentioning them in just 1 second. And we all miss you. And I am sincerely hoping that we will have an opportunity to spend some time together in person soon. I want to take a minute to thank a number of people that worked so hard to make this evening what it is. First, Joel Stein and Leora Mandel and Robert Walker. What they were able to do from going one direction to the other direction, coordinating everything from meal delivery to invitations to relatively new technology, unbelievable. And they really deserve every person's appreciation and acknowledgement. Critical. They were absolutely critical to the success of this endeavor. And I'll just speak for a minute about the success of this endeavor in 1 minute. You know, I've had the opportunity over the last 8-9 years to work with Rabbi Rothman, in fact, even more than that. But for the last 5 years as president, I've worked hand in glove with him every single day. I speak to him almost every single day, sometimes more than once a day. And together we take on the challenges and the opportunities that each day seems to bring in order to make the TCS what it is and what it can be. So first, I want to formally thank Rabbi Rothman for everything that he has done and everything that he continues to do. Each one of us is tremendously fortunate to have him as the rabbi of the shul, and each one of us should be absolutely grateful for the type of person that he is. Specifically with regard to this evening, I want to mention that he has been on the phone day in and day out, ensuring that this event will be the success that it is. And I'm more than delighted. I'm astonished that we have managed to reach on a net basis this event 93 to 95% of what we did last year. In other words, the net revenue from 2019 has been virtually met by the revenue of this virtual dinner. That is something about which we should be tremendously proud. And again, kudos to Rabbi Rothman and Joel Stein and Leora Mendel and Robert Walker for their efforts. Unbelievable, a tremendous accomplishment. As you know, whenever I have an opportunity to speak to all of you, I mention the board. Trust me when I say that the board is having, well, let's just say that they are involved in the operations of the TCS from early morning to late at night. We've had meetings at 11:30 at night. We've had meetings early in the morning. They are there for the TCS. They are constantly thinking about the TCS, and they make the TCS at the forefront of everything that they do. Robert Morris, Daniel Mizell's our honoree, Avram Kleiman, Toby Burkell, and of course, Joel Stein, a tremendously powerful and innovative group. They are tremendous representatives of each of us who is affiliated with the TCS. We are proud of them, and we should each be grateful to all of their efforts. They are an outstanding team. Without going further, because some of you might know the amount of time and efforts and occasional ugmas nefesh that I experience in my role at TCS, I want to thank my wife, Michelle, who gives me the flexibility and the understanding to enable me to do what I do on behalf of the TCS. Here she is right here. And I just wanted to thank her. You know, she has to put up with me, but even worse, she has to put up with me as I try and deal with everything that we have to deal with on a daily basis. So I appreciate her efforts very, very much. Thank you to each one of you. You did not shrink from the opportunity to support the shul this evening. You chose to say, you know what, I'm part of this community, and even though this is going to be weird, and it is indeed weird, I want to participate. And your willingness to support the shul manifests itself in how we've done for this dinner, and it manifests itself day in and day out as we continue to strengthen ourselves as a community, doing what we are supposed to be doing and servicing our tremendously important mission. It's unfortunate that we haven't been in our shul in almost 10 weeks. It's extremely painful. And as I wrote in a little communique a couple of weeks ago or last week, it pains me every day. I am hoping that we will be together again soon, but we are on a new adventure. And all I can say is that on this new adventure, there would be nobody that I'd rather go through it with than all of you. I'm grateful and proud to be part of this community. I'm indebted to each and every one of you. And again, I miss you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And I'm also delighted that the Mizells have chosen to be on for the shul and for this evening. When they leave to go off to Pittsburgh, there is a hole. They're going to create a hole, and it's a painful situation that they're leaving. We are going to be worse for it, but we wish them the best, and we hope that they'll come back and visit on a regular basis. Mazel tov to everybody on this beautiful and terrific affair. I hope that you enjoy it, and I look forward to being in touch soon. Thank you.
No. Brian Callan.
We have to stand for the national anthem. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, through patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Levo nemo nefeshone omio ulafate mizrach kadimo Ail Etzion Sophia Alona Tikvatenu Atikva Mashnot Apayi להיות מחופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון ירושלים להיות מחופשי בארצנו Zion, Yerushalayim.
Bravo. Stuart.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. So I've spoken about Rabbi Rothman already, and I hope that I did not embarrass him, but every single word was true, and frankly, I could have gone on and on. But it is my pleasure to ask the rabbi of the TCS to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Stu. And I'd like to say it's nice to see everyone, but I really can't. But it only adds to the melancholy that we're feeling not being able to be together in Shul on a regular basis. On the other hand, to be able to know that everybody is together, even if it's only electronically, and that so many of us are here. It looks like over 100 people right now. It's wonderful. And it's great to see that even when we're not physically together, we still stand together as a community, especially for such a special reason as such special people this evening. I'd like to first just open up our evening with the Dvar Torah and make reference to a Gemara in Zvachim. And there it describes the entire idea of how Hashem gave us the Torah on Mount Sinai and exactly what happened, how the Jewish people gathered around the mountain, they stood around the mountain, all of the experience that they had, something that has never happened before, something of an extraordinary bending and breaking of the laws of nature, and something that we will never see again. But it was an amazing time when man and God touched, and God gave us the Torah. And the Gemara in Zvachim on 116 describes that during the giving of the Torah, the nations of the world went to Bilam. If you remember Bilam, our old friend, the non-Jewish prophet who dedicated his life to trying to curse and destroy the Jewish people, but yet somehow he had the ability to communicate as a prophet with God. And nevertheless, the nations of the world went to Bilam and they asked him, is there another flood taking place? A flood like there was in the earliest times of the world, because it was that everything was going crazy in the world during the time of the giving of the Torah. They saw sounds, they heard lights, things were all different. And they thought that must be that God is flooding the world again. And Bilam answers them that they don't have to worry. The sounds and the lights are there because the Jewish people are receiving the Torah. So we have to ask, this is a very strange piece of Talmud. Like, why is it that the non-Jews of the world at that time presumed that what they were watching, which was giving the Torah being given, appeared like a flood, like the flood on the story of Noah? And Rabbi Meir Shapiro answers this by telling us that in the times of Mashiach, the times when the Mashiach comes, the animals will all get along with each other. The garzev yimnamar, right? The lion will lay down with the lamb. The animals will get along with each other, just as they did during the flood. So what? What's the big deal? What is the Gemara trying to tell us here? What's the chiddush? Isn't it enough to say, okay, the animals, they got along during the flood, just like we understand, but Rabbi Shapiro answers this, and he says, the reason that the animals got along during the time of the flood is because they only got along because of a crisis. They were in crisis. The world was coming to an end. So they all had a common enemy, and they bonded together and were able to get along. It was unity out of necessity. But there's another type of unity, another type of achdus, one of a common goal. The nations of the world saw the unity that the Jewish people had when the Torah was being given. And they assumed that this unity would only come along during a time of crisis. And it must be that the Jews have the first ones to see that another flood is coming. So they became unified out of necessity. And Bilam explained to them that it was a different type of unity, a different type of achdus. It was one that they all had the same goal, to receive the Torah and bring the world to completion. We can understand here that we are now in a time that is like a mabul. Things in the world are not the way they were. Things have changed. The world is to some extent, maybe not an enormous extent, but it's different. And it's going to remain different. And it happens that those types of things go on where the world will change. To some extent, we're in a crisis. And during a crisis, you notice that certain groups of people, certain nations will suddenly start getting along with each other. They wouldn't talk before, now they talk. Now there's a reason to talk. There's a crisis for us all. And we have a common enemy, this plague that is upon us, this virus that's upon us. But we, the Jewish people, know that achdus, that unity, is something much greater than something that only happens during a crisis. That anyone can have unity during a crisis, but we have unity even when there isn't a crisis. Even when there's a wonderful thing like the giving of the Torah, as we're about to celebrate at the holiday of Shavuos in just a few days. We understand that you don't have to have a mabul. You don't have to have COVID in order to get along with each other. You can have the unity of the common purpose of the Torah. And this really, I think, exemplifies what our community is like. Here we are in the midst of a crisis. And during a crisis, people are there to help each other. People care about each other. People do things for each other. But we're beyond that. We not only have been doing those things, we have been going out and taking care of the elderly. We have been making sure that people stay connected within our shul. We have been making sure that people who need someone to go out to the store for them, they'll go out to the store for them. We're there when someone passes away, we go on Zoom to try to visit with people. The unity of our community is evident, and it's very evident in tonight's dinner. And it is one aspect of who we truly are, that we are a united community, and that even though the world seems to be more united during a crisis, we understand that we're united because we're like one person with one heart. Ish echad kalev echad. One person, as the Torah says, in Jewish people we're like one, with one heart, one desire. And this is what I think we can see clearly this evening by the wonderful turnout for the dinner. And in addition, we have to make mention and we have to really note that we've listed the names of everyone who let us list their names, who we knew of, who are within our community, that are the frontline workers, people who are out there, essential workers in the medical fields, working in the grocery stores, doing all of the things that is necessary for the rest of us to be home and safe. And the list of the members of our shul who are doing this is quite a large list, because the same people who unify together with us realize the importance of standing up and taking the lead when it's necessary. And we, those of us who are able to stay home within our homes and not have to go out, have to give thanks to these people who put their lives on the line, literally their lives on the line, by going out and working through this illness. And tonight is one night that we have to make sure to thank those people. Some of them are with us, some of them are working. Some of them chose not to be on the list because they didn't want to be singled out or to get any honor for what they feel is necessary for them to do. But we know that these people are living the lives that our community stands for. These people are the people who are out on the front line making sure that all of us are safe. And we want to thank them for that. In addition, just to close, it is really the unity of our community, of the TCS Shul community, as we stand together when things are difficult, as it is now, and very soon, I'm sure that we'll be standing together in Shul, remembering what went on, taking steps forward, using this as a learning tool, and making our community that much better. Thank you very much for allowing me to open up this evening with the Dvar Torah and to be able to set the mood for another example of how wonderful our community truly is. And now I have the opportunity, great. Now it's my privilege and my opportunity to be able to take a few minutes to make a presentation of the award for the dinner that we're celebrating today. Sadly, our honorees are leaving us. Rabbi Dani and Dori Meisels are very important parts of our community, very important parts of my life as well. And they are leaving us in order to move forward, to be able to give back to the Jewish community and to get ahead by having to go to Pittsburgh and to leave us. But that is something that happens. It's time for them to fly out of the nest and to move on. But yet it's not just that we can let them go, but we will miss them greatly. They have been so much a part of my life, but also the life of our entire community in many ways. Let me just give you some off-the-cuff examples. When it comes to Dani, you will find him every Shabbos teaching young boys before Kiddush, when the rest of us are learning for ourselves. He makes an effort to spend time with them. He chose to be the head of our youth committee, dealing with all of the aspects and the problems and the programs and the lovely things that come out of our youth program, dealing with our youth director and all of the various parts of the youth program. He does so as a part of our board of directors. So Dani has been an essential part of our community since he entered it. And we're so proud to have him and happy to have him and sorry to see him go. As well, I think everyone knows that a lot of the time that I spend in trying to help people and to help those people with whatever their problems are, whatever kind of problem these people come up have, be it something with their family, with their spouse, with finances, whatever it is, people who are getting married, people who are ill. This is part of what a rabbi does within the community. And how very often when I'm contacting someone who's having an issue, I'm finding out that it's Dori who is together with them, who is really a part of everything that I do. I'll call up some young girl who's getting married, and it'll be Dori who answers the phone. If I'm dealing with someone who's having a problem, their confidant is Dori. When I want to try to speak to someone and to help them with another issue, Dori is already there. I'm finding that while Dani is taking a very public view, and he's very much in the public within our shul, as a leader, as a member of the board, as the head of the youth committee, as a teacher, as a beautiful davener, Dori, in her own way, behind the scenes, is involved with many, many, many families and is making a difference in such a way. So these are two people who are going to do great things for the Jewish people. And in the meantime, they're going to have to do it in Pittsburgh. And it's our loss. Hopefully one day will come in the near future that we'll have them back again. And they'll be here with us. And that they'll be, again, a part of our community. But as long as they're gone, they'll still be part of our community. They'll never leave. They'll be visiting us. They'll come back. They'll see us. And we'll be very happy to have them, even if it's just for a few days. So it's certainly my privilege on behalf of our entire shul community to be able to present this honor today to Rabbi Dani and Dori Meisels for all the wonderful work that they do. They're extraordinary assets to our community in really very, very many ways. And I know that a beautiful gift has been purchased and organized and brought by to, I'm hoping at this point, to their home, so that Dori and Dani can have it and take it with them. And we know that this gift will symbolize our relationship with them and symbolize the way that their house is filled with Torah in every single way. So please join me in thanking Dori and Dani Meisels for all the wonderful things they do for our community, how they will continue to do that in other communities, and one day come back to us, and we'll reap all of the fruit from all of the years that they've gone elsewhere until they come back once again. So we want to thank them very much, and tonight give them this special award so that they will know that we really recognize and have hakaras hatov, have gratitude for all the good that they've done for our community, for the individuals within it, and the community as a whole. So thank you very much, and please now welcome Dani and Dori Meisels.
Love you.
Well, the applause is deafening. Thank you very much. On behalf of Dori and myself, thank you very much for the amazing words. There's a lot of people to recognize and say thank you to. I just want to share a quick thought and then say thank you to a broad group of people. There's too many people to point out specifically. So this week, at the end of the week, we're coming up to Shavuos, and
Yeah.
We see you guys.
yeah, it's nice to see everybody. That's for sure. So Shavuos, if I asked you what day Shavuos was on, you know the answer we get would be the 6th of Sivan. But the truth is that that's not always the case. And Shavuos just happens to be on our calendars on that day, because that's when our Chachamim, when our Rabbanim set the calendar, they set that as the day. But before we had a calendar, and in the most optimal times where we're living in the land of Israel, and we have a Sanhedrin, a high court that oversees everything. One of the things they oversee is the establishing of the new month every month, Rosh Chodesh. And sometimes Rosh Chodesh sometimes a month can be 29 days, and other times it could be 30 days, and it all depends on when witnesses come to testify about what day they saw the new moon on. And that could change the day of when, depending on if ER or Nisan are fuller months or shorter months, it can change the day as to when Shavuos falls out on. Because Shavuos is actually, the answer to when Shavuos is it's 50 days from Pesach. It's 50 days from when we left Mitzrayim and we headed out. And it's really the completion of that process where on Pesach, we're born as a nation. We were born together as a nation. It's the birth of the Jewish people. That was only the beginning of the process, and it was dependent upon getting to Har Sinai and receiving the Torah. We talk a lot, Rabbi Rothman talks a lot about unity in our shul, and our shul is a beautiful woven quilt of Jewish people from all different backgrounds, and everybody's accepted and everybody is welcome. And there's that idea of unity, but what is the thing that unifies everyone together? What is that element that binds us all, that we all have in common, that brings us all together? And while we're born as a people on Pesach, it's the Torah and the commitment we have to it, and to growing and getting more growth through it, that is the common factor that binds us all together. It's that commitment that we need to have to the Torah, and to ensure its continuity, to keep us together, to keep us as a unified people, that is so important. Second, I notes here. Been a lot of times where people have approached us over the years that we've been part of the shul, and people say to us, why are you so involved in all the programs, or what gets you to be involved in everything? Is it money? Is it fame, respect? Is it you get a good Zoom dinner out of it? Is that what we do it for? But the truth is, it's not. The truth is that we do it because it's our obligation to do the things that we do. It's our obligations for anyone who has a talent or any skill they have that can contribute to bringing people closer to Torah and bringing people closer to the Jewish. It's our responsibility that whatever we can do to bring people closer, that we do that. So, and that was really why we agreed to do this dinner, to be involved here, so that people can know we're not, that you can help out in any way that you can. You can get involved. Even the smallest things that you can do. I know there are many opportunities in the shul. The shul allows for many opportunities for everybody to help out and everyone to participate. So, and now I just want to say a few thank yous to everyone, and then we can get on with the program. I want to say thank you to our community, to the shul, for giving us all the opportunities that you afforded us to really to have an impact and to be a part of such a wonderful community. I want to thank Joel and Leora for arranging this amazing event tonight. Everything's wonderful, the dinner and how everything arrived, it's amazing, especially under the circumstances. We get a round of applause that we can't hear. There we go, okay. I want to thank Uncle Avi, Rabbi Rothman, and Stuart, our president as well, for all the guidance and all the wonderful relationship that we've been able to create over the years, and very inspiring. And thank you very much for everything that you've helped us out and done with. as well, all the amazing people who are on our board. It's a smaller group, but powerful, impactful, and they do so much behind the scenes. And all your work is appreciated and should be appreciated. We want to thank our family. I would say who came from far, but nobody really went anywhere. So for everybody who tuned in, and for all our entire family, we've had gotten such wonderful messages and well wishes and brachos from everybody around this event, and you give us such support and such encouragement for everything that we do, and you're a huge part of our lives, and we appreciate everything that you do for us, as well as our friends and our rebbeim and all those who we look to. We definitely cannot do all the things that we do and without the inspiration that you give us. We also want to thank. I also want to thank the younger guys in the shul, the guys who I've been able and had the privilege to learn with and to teach, for coming every single week. It's really been, it's wonderful to see that there is a generation coming up that is so engaged and so wants to be a part, and very talented, and there's a very bright future in the Jewish people and Torah as well. I want to thank my wife Dori for everything that she does, encouragement and support, and for the many late board meetings and programs, and davening on the Yom HaNorayim in Shul means that there's a lot of time that I can't be there to help out with certain things, and she always is there to help me in that and support me and guide me as well. I want to thank everybody, all the other participants of the Shul. Our community is made up of so many people who give so much and are so inspiring, and really this honor is as much for them as it is for me. There are so many people who give, and there's so many people that I know that have more, that also have the ability to give and can, and just a bit of encouragement can get them there, because there's so much that people have to offer. And lastly, Achron Chaviv. We'll do two lastly. Our parents for the encouragement and support. Thank you for everything that you do for us. And as well, the biggest thank you goes to Hashem for giving us all the opportunities that He affords us to help and to bring people closer to Him, and to bring people closer and more understanding. So thank you, everybody. We will definitely miss our community, but we'll be around. And now I'll stop talking. All right. Thank you.
And muted us.
All right. Hello, everyone. Once again, as the Talmud tells us, the words that come from the heart enter the heart, and we certainly have felt that this evening with our honorees, and we're very proud to have them as a part of our community. We will always have them as a part of our community, even if they're not physically here sometimes. So we'll look forward to having them back again. On the schedule, we have it listed that at this time I'm supposed to thank all of the essential workers, but I included that in my Devar Torah. Nevertheless, we can't stress enough how important it is for us to recognize the people who have been going out and putting their lives on the line for the rest of us. As much as we feel that sitting at home, as difficult as we think it is, we know that we wouldn't be able to do it. And the problems that we would have if the emergency services, if the medical services, if some of the grocery stores and other stores were not open with people working in there, we would not be able to survive. And the whole situation would be that much worse. So it's certainly incumbent upon us to recognize and to thank and to have gratitude to all of the frontline workers all of the essential workers of the people in every one of the areas, from the more beautiful areas that we think of as medicine and people working in these types of professions, to even people who are doing the general services, from making sure that our garbage is taken every week, or that the supermarkets are all open, and all different levels of this. But we have to keep that in mind. And even though people might be paid for what they do, they're doing so because they want to, then they're doing so because they feel a pride in being able to make a difference. And we're proud to have so many of them as a part of our community. And we want to thank them all at this time publicly. And please, every one of you know who you are, and many of you would not allow us to put your name on the invitation. And nevertheless, we thank you all. And now I think, where are we, Rob? I think we're about, are we ready for?
So Stu will be doing the introduction for our comedic entertainment for the evening.
Okay, and is the comedian ready to go? Do we have him?
He is here. I was there a moment ago. And there he is. I see Marvin. And so Stu, take it away.
All right, thank you, Stu. Where'd you go, Stu?
I was just muted, but now can you hear me? Thumbs up. I just want to make sure.
Stu is never muted.
I just really wanted everybody to give me a thumbs up sign. That's all. No. Let me just take a minute to introduce our comedian. His name is Martin Silbermintz. He describes himself as an FFB, funny from birth. He grew up in Orthodox in the Bronx, which provided a fine foundation for his career in comedy. Marvin's internet spoofs of Jewish life have been seen by more than 200,000 viewers. Millions more have seen Marvin in his numerous appearances on The Tonight Show, often playing a rabbi. He is best known as a full-time writer of over 18 years for the original Tonight Show with Jay Leno, where he was instantly recognizable because...
I'm waiting to hear a little bit. Like, sure.
Everybody can mute their phones there. Drawing on his life experience as an observant Jew, Marvin's humor lovingly pokes fun at the comical aspects of Jewish life. Marvin has been making audiences laugh the world over for more than 30 years. We are delighted to host Marvin and hope that he will continue his run and his ability to make audiences laugh. Marvin, take it away.
Well, thank you so much. Hello to everyone in Canada. Let me shake your hand. Well, no, I can't do it that way. I got to do it this way. Because of that. There you go. I say 6 feet away when I shake hands. Anyhow, I guess you, like us, like everyone in this world, is living through this virus. And are you gaining weight? Because I gained 15 pounds just being isolated. But as soon as I get a haircut, I'll take off the pounds. It's strange. You know, you walk into a bank now, they get nervous if you're not wearing a mask. But I like to thank Rabbi Rothman, who I haven't seen in 10 years in person. I like this. Your rabbi is very entertaining. He's an unforgettable person. And by the way, Rabbi, I didn't mute you during your speech, and the mute button was right here. But that wouldn't have been polite. I'd like to thank Robert Walker, who's managing all the electronics. And I congratulate the Mazels. I've been to Pittsburgh. There's a lot of Yiddishkeit there. Oh my goodness, look at this. You know, they named me Moshe, but now I look like Moshe Rabbeinu. Look at this. And look at how big, you know, the iPhone, it magnifies your nose. Like, my nose is so, about 10 years ago, God felt I didn't look Jewish enough, so my nose started to grow. Well, anyhow, let's get on with the dinner. Let's start the dinner. Okay, first let me validate your parking. Thank you. I get that. Anybody else? Oh, thank you. There we go. Just, oh, okay. There you go. Welcome to the dinner. We're doing very well this year. You should see the dinner journal. It's very impressive. Look at this. We sold so many ads this year. This, you're gonna need a truck to get this home. Wonderful. And ads you can use. Look at this. Toronto Kosher. I can't even lift this dinner journal. Toronto Kosher Deli. Our tongue sandwiches speak for themselves. Well, now let's see the meal. Oh, my wife made a centerpiece for me. This is a scallion that will beautify the table. You know, this is why I was hired. You see, first you had Modi. I'm sorry, this is a mirror image, but you'll have to try to read it. The mirror image. Modi, he was good, but then the board said they wanted a bigger name. So then you got Elon Gold. It's a bigger name. And then they said, let's get a bigger name. And here I am. That's me, Marvin Silbermans. By the way, twice as big as Elon Gold and 4 times as big as Modi. Well, I got the meal. It looks great. Let's see what you sent me. A bottle of, that's Gatorade. Blue, my favorite color, blue. And here's my dinner. So, Fruit Loops. What else we got? Here's a package here. No gluten, no carbs, no nuts, no fat, no artificial flavors, no sugar. And what? Oh, there's nothing in the box. And for dessert, Pez. This is the Pashkez Pez that comes from Brooklyn. It's 100% kosher Pez. And look, this Pez dispenser is the Vilna Gaon. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Nah, it's Aquaman. Well, I'll bet like you, they have special hours for seniors now that the virus is here. They let them in at 8 in the morning before anyone else. But I think there's some fraud involved because look, I took this picture at my local supermarket at 8 a.m. and these two, I think they were sneaking in. Doesn't that look suspicious? Oh, I hear a laugh. I hear one person laughing. Well, let's play some presidential scramble. Now, these names are scrambled, but they're also mirror image. They're also backwards. So this is the name of a president. Can you guess who this is? By the way, this is made for North America. It's made for the United States. Can you figure out what president that is? Not Ilkin, not Link. Oh, Clinton. See? C-L-I-N-T-O-N. Okay. And this president, Pyramid. That almost looked right in, oh, that's Trump. And this president, Rehab. Oh, that's Stu Haber. Stu Haber, who many think was a better president than Trump and no Tickle. No. Well, anyhow, I'd like to show you something with a newspaper. This is the same shape on. By the way, for you younger folks, this is called a newspaper. You may have seen a picture of it on the internet. It's something people would take into their homes and read because there was no news on the TV, because there was no TV years ago. So I'll start with this simple sheet of newspaper. And let's see, what can I tell you about myself? I was born in the Bronx, and I grew up. I went to a small yeshiva there, small Hasidic yeshiva, 400 kids, 3 families. And my father was what you call an Alta Yiddisher. He was a tough European type of guy. I remember one day I said to him, Tati, I'm sick of it here. I'm going to run away from home. Run away from home. And my father said to me, on your mark? But that's how they were. They were tough. And, you know, the Jewish mothers were all loved, like my mother. I'd come home from school and she'd say, sit down, your dinner's getting cold. And I say, well, can I just turn on the TV? Sit down, your dinner's getting cold. I said, can I look at my mail? She'd say, sit down, your dinner's getting cold. And then I'd sit down and she said, okay, here, be careful, it's hot. And so I had a traditional bar mitzvah there in the Bronx. By the way, I tried on my bar mitzvah suit. Yes, it may be 56 years, 46 years since my bar mitzvah, but it fit me like a glove. Didn't fit me like a suit, but it fit me like a glove. I could put it on my hand. Then I came to Los Angeles, which is very strange to live here. People don't know a lot about Yiddishkeit. They'd ask me, that kosher food, that's the healthiest food. I say, oh, sure, it's very helpful. You know, most dietitians now recommend a steady diet of kashka, gedempte flanken, pacha, kugel, corned beef. This goes through your system and it drives out all of the fresh vegetables and mineral water that's been clogging you. Anyhow, this is the star of our show. This is why we're all here. Oh, a star within a star within a star. There we go. Well, I've been looking around my shul when people daven, and you might appreciate this. Different people daven different ways. I'm going to demonstrate that for you. Here are the different types of davening. Well, I would say about 65% of people daven just back and forth. Like they got a hinge right here. 30% move like a radar dish. There's like with a spring, like there's a spring here. Let me step back so you can see this. Some are just like a statue. And they stay like that the whole morning during davening until someone yells, Kiddush, Kiddush. Now, these guys, there are people who only move their head, but not their sitter, like this. And then there are those who move the sitter, but not the head. The dangerous Morse code davener, he davens like this. Then there's the metronome. This can be dangerous if he has a heavy sitter. There are people who move their lips, but there's no sound, like this. Then, conversely, there are people who don't move their lips, but there is a sound. Then there are people whose whisper is louder than the chazan. That's like this. And don't get stuck next to this guy, the kvetcher. It doesn't matter if he's saying Ashrei or Hallel. This is what it sounds like. There are different ways people turn pages. I turn pages normally. My Zadie would turn pages like this. This is bad during the virus. Then there are people who have a lightning read. They turn pages so fast, like this. I got a few more. Then there are people who don't want a split second to go between the last word of this page and the first word of this page, and they daven like this. And there's the announcer like this. You're davening Shon Esrei, and then he has to explain he understands the whole Hebrew calendar. And while you're davening, you hear him. And finally, don't get stuck next to this guy, the lawn sprinkler. He spits a little while he davens, and he moves like a lawn sprinkler, and it's like this. And those are just some of the ways people daven. Well, what else can I tell you? Oh, I'd like to do some mind reading now. Really, why not? Here's what I'm going to do. You think of an animal with 4 legs, like a mouse or an elephant, but not one of those, because I just said them. Okay. Think of any animal with 4 legs. So I'm getting an impression. Okay. Name your animal. Okay, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Well, moving on. This is strange. I don't hear any feedback, but maybe that's a good thing. We have about 20 minutes left. It's time for the big Jewish quiz. So I'm going to ask you these questions quickly. Let's see how much you know about Jewish life and Jewish culture. What's the most common letter in the Torah? No, it's the Vav. What Jewish singer won the Nobel Prize? A Jewish singer won the Nobel Prize. Isaac Basheva's singer. Yes or no? According to Jewish tradition, can a man marry his widow's sister? Yes or no? Is a man allowed to marry his widow's sister? Well, if you said yes, you're wrong. He could, because he'd be dead. Now, this is like an SAT question, so listen carefully. Rabbi is to Rebbitzin, as king is to queen, as sheik is to, I'll say it once more. Rabbi is to Rebbitzin, as king is to queen, as sheik is to shiksa. The wife of a sheik is a shiksa. Sorry. Hadassah Heifer like that. According to Jewish tradition, what's the penalty for bigamy? 2 mothers-in-law. Okay, I got a few more. What's the Talmudic principle that says if someone shoots at you, you're allowed to shoot back? Chazaras hashatz. What's the plural of yenta? Hadassah. That's sexist and out of date. Some Jews in Manhattan will carry outside on the street on Shabbos. Why? Because they're not from. They don't care. They're not Orthodox. I know you were thinking that the river is like an Arab. But... And finally, name the Jew who married Pharaoh's daughter. The Jew who married Pharaoh's daughter. The answer is Woody Allen. Yes, Mia Farrow. That's the joke, folks. Now I'm going to tell you, a lot of people ask me for jokes. Here's the best joke I heard this year. It's Washington, D.C. I got an LOL. But that's not R-O-F LOL. R-O rolling on the floor, but okay. R-O-F, thank you. It's Washington, D.C., and a mugger comes up to a man and pulls out a gun and says, "Give me all your money." And the man says, "You know, young man, I'll have you know, you're pointing a gun at a member of the United States Congress." And the mugger says, "Well, in that case, give me all my money." And now I have some inventions here for Jewish life I'd like to show you. I'd like to make things easy for frum people because it's hard being frum and Orthodox. R-O-T-F-L. Oh, thank you for the LOLs. For instance, I have 3 boys and they're always losing their yarmulke. Of course, they're 40 years old now. But, so thank goodness, Kleenex makes the yarmulke dispenser for Orthodox parents. So when your son says, "Daddy, I lost my yarmulke," give him a yarmulke. Another one pops up. "Daddy, I can't find my yarmulke." Instead of saying, "Look under your pillow," ah, there's a yarmulke. "Daddy, I can't find my yarmulke." There's a yarmulke. And uh-oh, there's the pink yarmulke. That means we're running out of yarmulkes. Well, I was shopping in Borough Park. And where else can you get? You can't get these anywhere else. You can't get Chalav Yisrael, milk and magnesia. You ever see that? Here's a Borough Park product. This is wonderful. Head and Payers shampoo. I hope you're old enough to remember Head and Shoulders shampoo. And now here's some dinnerware for the Jewish home. These dishes are for every day. These are for Shabbos. And for Yom Kippur, someone just called me hilarious. Thank you. Tell my agent. Well, we, at my show, we had trouble raising money. So, we changed the name of the shul to the Institute for Rabbinical Studies. Institute for Rabbinical Studies. And now, when we send out our bills, people pay attention. IRS. Oh my God, you don't have an IRS. How do you pay for everything? through those liquor stores the government owns and the government selling marijuana? Okay, from now on, instead of laughter, through the nose, says Stu Haber. Instead of laughs, we have a bell. This is a big problem. Now the customs and the TSA goes through everything. They don't know what tefillin is. You get on a plane and they look at tefillin, they think it's some strange device. So my wife embroidered this for me, my tefillin bag. This is not a bomb. That bell indicates the joke is over and you may laugh, but you have the right to remain silent. How about this? You go to a dinner and you hang out and there's one guy, one man was smart enough to bring his bencher, and he's benching mincha, and right away people say, hey, can I look in with you? Can I look in with you? And here you say, yeah, go ahead. Here's your bencher. Stuart Haber's smiling. Here's your bencher. Let's daven together. But I also care about the non-Jews. Yeah, I see these people, they go to Elvis Presley's Graceland and they want to get his autograph. And I wrote this book for him, for those people. Elvis Presley, is he dead? Is he alive? Elvis Presley, is he alive? And for these people, you got to keep it very simple. So it's only 2 pages. Well, you know, as someone said, oh, do you think there could be another universe, an anti-universe? He said, yeah, there's a universe that's just like ours somewhere, except Elvis is dead. And there's someone in her backyard. Hey, they sell all sorts of cleaners online, on TV. These special cleaners, I don't know. This is the best cleaner you can get. It's called Mommy Spit. Now with Mommy Spit, you just go, oh, let me try the, oh, on that sheen of punim. Look at that. I see a punim. We got more. I was at a shul in Borough Park, and they didn't have boxes of yarmulkes there when you went in. There was these, because it was a very from shul. They handed out these, yeah, so that you could fit in. It really was very thoughtful. And then you open it up. Oh my goodness. See? I hope people can see this. Instant chassid. You know, there's a Hasidic rabbi in Brooklyn. He said, thank you, Stephen Fleischer. So Hasidic rabbi in Brooklyn made an announcement. He thinks women should stop having babies at 35. Why? Because 36 babies is too much. So the man in Brooklyn is going through his bills, and he says to his wife, what is this? $3,000 for a sheitel? You paid $3,000 for a sheitel? That's a sin. And she said, well, let the sin be on my head. Well, when I was young and foolish, I used to walk the streets of Manhattan, and I guess you never saw this. This was Manhattan. These signs were in cars, and it said, please, Ganef, don't steal my radio. It's already been stolen. So don't break my window and steal my radio. I guess you don't remember these because Toronto is beautiful. You know, I went to Toronto when I was 22 and it was so clean. I told people it's so clean and they said, well, there's a garbage strike now. It's funny you should say that. That's a true story. And then I got to a crosswalk and the car stopped and I thought he stalled because in New York, no one would stop. And I'm waiting and I thought maybe I should help him. Anyhow, no radio to keep the gonoms away. Well, I didn't have a car, so I would take the subway like this. No necklace, no wallet. Well, I'm going to tell you my favorite Jewish joke. This man, we'll say it's Marvin Silverstein. He dies. So his wife calls up the newspaper. For young people, newspapers were things, well, anyhow. She says, I like to place an ad for my husband. He passed away in the newspaper. So the man says, okay, what do you want to say? So she says, well, say Milton Silverstein passed away. He says, well, you can get more words than that for the same money. So she says, okay, Milton Silverstein passed away, funeral on Sunday. And the man says, well, actually you get 10 words for the minimum, so you might as well make it 10 words. So she says, okay, Milton Silverstein passed away, funeral on Sunday, Buick for sale. And that is a very Jewish joke. Here's something I made for myself out of old rulers. I don't know what to call it. It's not a trick. Someone wrote, "Oi." Oh, I'll just show it to you. I hope you can see that. Thank you. A lot of people say to me, you know, what's that thing on your doorpost? I see that Jews have this little box on the doorpost, and what is that? I said, well, you know, we're not supposed to say what's inside, but if you want, I'll show you. It's called a mezuzah. Here. This is what's inside. Oh. Inside it says, help, I'm being held prisoner in a mezuzah factory. I was at the kotel, or as my Zadia would say, the kaisel. I was, and they make you put on this paper yarmulke. And here's maybe the most spiritual moment of your life, and you have to wear a little flimsy paper yarmulke. That's not right. So I got this idea at the bank when I was using a pen. I think they should put this at the kotel. It says, please do not remove yarmulkes. See, and you take out the yarmulke, and the Jew davens, and he puts it back in for the next Jew. I also invented the painless Havdalah candle. Painless Havdalah candle, you say? Yeah, because when you hold a Havdalah candle, the hot wax drips on you and on your hand. It's painful. But with the painless Havdalah candle, it drips on the person next to you. I'm making the president laugh. That's good. And here's my yarmulke comb, because I have 5 bobby pins in my yarmulke. I hate to take it off to comb it. So I hope you can see this. My yarmulke comb. Okay, I got a few more. Don't you hate it when you get a letter on Shabbos or Yontiv? You can't open it up. So you hold it up, try to steam it up at the coffee pot, or hold it up to the sunlight. You can't see it. Well, not a problem anymore with the new Shabbos letter opener. And you see it has a double blade. I take the Shabbos letter opener, I slide it in where the flap begins here. So, and out the other side. I haven't torn anything. I haven't been the Chol Shabbos. See? It goes in this little spot here that's open and out there. And then I thought, I rotate, I rotate, I rotate, I rotate, and there's the letter. Hey, Mom and Dad, I got into Harvard. Look at that. Well, oh, thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to finish up because 20 minutes after I'm supposed to finish. I have three more. I'm a Jew and I'm a proud Jew, so I don't have any flamingo on my front lawn. I don't have a flamingo. I have a little Jew. This little Jew, he has his sitter. He's ready to daven. And then when the wind starts blowing, he starts davening. Oh, you know, I'm a little cramped here. Wait, let me step. When the wind starts blowing, he starts davening. Look at that kavana. At the Kiddush. Oh, look at that. You see this ring? I got this ring from my Zadie on his deathbed. $80. Anyhow, if I get to the Kiddush in my shul 20 or 30 seconds late, I can't get to the food. There's such a crowd there. So I invented this, the Kiddush fork. With the Kiddush fork, I go right over their heads. Give me that kugel. Give me that herring. That's the Kiddush fork. Well, I'd like to end with something my Zadie told me. My Zadie was the greatest magician in Poland, according to him. And his greatest trick was the vanishing matzah. And so I'd like to thank you all for inviting me. And maybe I'll get to see your shul in person. Because the last time you were in a hall, not in your shul when I was there. And your rabbi is, do you know he's a poet? Do you know your rabbi met some famous, he wrote a poem himself, and I memorized it. This is a poem your rabbi wrote. It combines the Jewish world and the very hip poetry world. And this is his poem. Chaim sat on the railroad track. Along came the train. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shmei rabo amen. Is that beautiful? I know poets are obsessed with death and religion, but it's all there. The tragedy of this life. Anyhow, so this is my Zadie's trick. And I'll do it just the way my Zadie, Joseph Silvermans from Warsaw, Poland did it. Oh, everybody, look at that, a matzah. Ever seen like that? So pretty, a matzah? There it is. And now the magic trick. I take the matzah and I put it in my hand. I put the matzah in my hand. And now I sprinkle on the magic dust. The magic dust. I sprinkle the magic dust. And poof, no matzah. There you go. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. Great to be part of this innovation, the virtual dinner. And okay, I think we're on time. Thank you. And look at this. The board says I was hilarious by a vote of 5-4. So that's pretty good.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Marvin.
Yes.
Marvin, can everybody
Yes.
hear me, by the way? Just thumbs. Okay, great. Marvin, that was fantastic. That was great. Tremendous. We do look forward to having you live in our shul one day. You'll have to come back with new stuff, but that was great and brilliant, actually. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great.
Too funny.
Oh, people are unmuted. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Could you let him?
Going to become a
worked
ball
out.
of gun
I'm
any
glad it
second
worked.
now.
Okay, Stu,
Yeah.
before you close up, and of course and thank Marvin, was asked if everyone would take a moment sometime before we turn off and take a picture of themselves, and you can send it either through to my email, my usual emails, or to my cell phone, which is the number that's published for the shul, so that we can have pictures of people from tonight. And you can do it sitting down in case you're not dressed appropriately, except for your shirt and your tie. So, but please feel free, take a picture and send it to us. We'd like to have it as a memento for the evening. And also, of course, Stu.
Okay, great.
My public announcement.
Who's wearing shorts, by the way? Anybody in here wearing shorts?
Oh, Marvin is.
Well, no, I'm wearing a tutu.
Sweatpants?
I hope not a pink one.
Anyway, Marvin, first of all, where's my wife here? First of all, thank you very much for really a wonderful presentation. That was very, very funny, and you brought a lot of simcha to us. And these times have been definitely challenging, so we appreciate all the laughs. So
That was
you.
a challenge. I worked on it.
We could tell. Again, on behalf of the board and the TCS, we want to wish Mazel Tov to Daniel and Dori Mizels for this. Clap, everybody, for this. We are sorry that it could not be the usual when we can stand up and hug you and take pictures and what have you, and everybody can come up to you face to face and say Mazel Tov, but everybody is throwing those kind wishes out to you. And we are really, really grateful, and God willing, we will be seeing you soon, and everybody will have an opportunity to share their kind words with you face to face. I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for participating. The food was fantastic, by the way. I was eating a little bit, Marvin, as you were making your presentation, and the food well organized. We are finishing on time, and it's a testament to all of the organizers that make things put together so well. So thank you so much to everybody. Mazel Tov again to the Mizels and your respective families. We should come together only on Simchas, and we should be able to come together very, very soon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and Mazel Tov, and a round of applause to everybody for your participation and for the innovation of this wonderful dinner. Thank you very much, and look forward indeed to seeing you very soon. Brachas for health only.
Everyone have a good night. Thank you all for joining with us.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
you all be safe.
Good job, Dani and Dori.
Good night.
Bye, Aunt Shirley.
Night, great job on the dinner.
Good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Great job to everybody.
All the best.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
You guys are staying right.
We're going in now. Thank
All a
you.
joke.
Oh.
Not really going anywhere.
Aunt Shirley and Larry. You see us? Hey, guys.
You can do that. But it looked, I didn't know this, but it looked like kind of
That's
those Roman areas. But
Yeah, that's Steve.
Hey, everybody better watch out. Everyone can hear you.
Good night, everybody.
I-
Miss you all.
I have that problem all the time, so you have to watch what we say. All right, it's good to see everyone. We're signing off. I hope we'll see you all in Shul soon.
Love you, Dani.
So,
Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Mazel
tov, guys.
Night.
Night.
Night. Night.
Mazel tov, Dori and Dani. Thank you. Thank you. We love you guys. We're so proud of you.
Mazel tov.
Else.
Mazel tov, Dani and.
How about you, Mati? And everybody can watch you eat online.
Thank you. Love you.
Good night.
Oh, my Zoom shirt is falling.
Mazel tov, Miriam. Mazel tov, Mati. Mazel tov.
Good night, Marvin.
Mazel tov.
Thank you, Joel,
Mazel tov, everyone.
for everything, Joel.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for accepting
Good night.
being honored.
You got away with having your video off the whole time.
Joel, very nicely done. Robert Walker, very nicely done. Leora Mandel, very nicely done.
Thank you, Stu, for being a great MC. And thank you, everyone, for participating.
My pleasure.
Hello.
Great job, ladies. Great job,
Thank you.
everybody.
All that hard work.
I really want to FaceTime Lily.
Dori, it's good I get to see you now.
So I came upstairs because this is day 26. Your phone says 9:24.
I love your new glasses.
I mean your phone over here.
I have to get the car for Nelia now.
And here's Uncle Mac.
Oh, we didn't have the roasted pepper.
I can't hear you, but you're making excuses for him and Tom.
Tomorrow.
1 second.
Although the camera's on, so you may.
Wait, what's happening now?
We're leaving.
So why is that still on?
Well, there's like.
Hi, Glenn.
Night.
Night.
No, yeah, they are. I mean, no, it's fine. Actually, I'm not on mute. Come say hi. Come say hi. Come say hi. Hi. Hi.
Aunt Shirley, where's Uncle Matt?
Oh, Matt. Time to go.
Geez, we're taking a picture with you, Dori and Dani. Smile.
Should we put a picture of us?
Okay. Screenshot.
Everything on your end, Lisa.
Okay, should we take our picture?
I don't want to take my picture.
Let's take our picture.
No, that's all right.
Oh, huge.
What's that noise?
They unmuted us. I don't see how I can do that. So I press it, it doesn't.
We can all still come together. Amen.
Larry, would you tell your mother how to unmute herself? She doesn't know what she's doing.
Tell her hit the space bar. Space bar.
Hit the space bar on it, Shirley.
Donnie, that person before was after you, the person that was screaming?
I don't know where that person was coming from.
It looked like it was for you because he wrote heckle him on the chats.
Not for me. I hope he's okay though, whoever that was.
Is it something from COVID? From this COVID that's making trouble? Who knows?
Who knows? It's good to see you.
Okay, your father got off. I wish your father would have stayed on.
Okay. You doing okay?
Yes, Baruch Hashem. We're doing better. We were sick for a while. We got the virus, but we're doing better now.
Oh, Baruch Hashem.
We got it twice.
Wow.
But Baruch Hashem, we're cleared so we can go out again.
Oh. It's good to see you.
Okay, it's good to see you.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good
Thank
night.
you for coming. I'm gonna go eat.
Bye, Dor.
Bye, Roro. Love you.
Love you.
Trooper that you stayed on.
Of course.
Bye, Yarizes. Family Zoom chat. Bye, everybody. Bye, Larry. Bye, Lean. Bye, Alex.
Send those kids to bed.